Ladies and gentlemen, a new ChatGPT model has been released, and today we're going to test it with you in real-world conditions. This will be a serious test, specifically a comparison with Nano Banana 2. We'll compare both models and see what the new model from OpenAI is capable of in actual working conditions. We'll see how it edits photos, how it creates new images based on, for example, your appearance, how it can make YouTube video thumbnails or say product cards, how it writes texts, and much, much more. We're going to test all of that today. So this model works inside ChatGPT. That means you don't need to enable anything here. You can just start typing, do something with my photo, or generate some kind of image. It's already integrated here, and you can interact with it just like with ChatGPT using natural language or Syntx. And there are absolutely no payment issues here, no matter what country you're from, Russia, America, or anywhere else. By the way, here's a registration link for Syntx specifically for our community. This link provides various bonuses and perks. So scan the QR code, go to the website, and log in using any method that's convenient for you. It literally takes just a couple of seconds and you can get started. As I mentioned, you can use it within ChatGPT, but I'll be demonstrating on the Syntx platform, since here you have both Nano Banana and this GPT image right away. In other words, both models are available here, so I'll be testing them right here for you to see. I think we'll begin our process by looking at this frame. This is a specific character design I created that I previously featured in one of my past videos. Check out something about AI influencers on the channel. Let's try uploading this girl right here. And include a descriptive prompt as well. The prompt will look like this. Take a photo with this girl, a realistic photo as if it were taken on an iPhone, against the backdrop of a gloomy street in St. Petersburg, with a shawarma kiosk in the background, and she's taking a bite of shawarma. I deliberately wrote the prompt in my own words. Nothing professional about prompt writing here, I'm just talking to it in my own words, just like with ChatGPT. I specifically asked for a realistic photo, since it's claimed that this GPT Image 2 model creates super mega hyper realism. Okay, I think they'll fix this on Syntx soon. Right now, there are only 3 aspect ratio options here, but the new Image 2 model already allows you to generate images in different aspect ratios. I think they'll fix this soon on Syntx. Okay, for now I'm sending it with these settings, choosing medium quality since high quality is really expensive. Alright, now let's try to do the same thing on Nano Banana 2. I'm uploading the same photo here using the same prompt and almost identical settings. The only thing I can say right away is that Nano Banana 2 produces images in very good quality at 2K resolution. That is, the resolution generated by ChatGPT is about 1600 on the long side. Well, that's not bad. In principle, it's enough to post a photo like this on social media, for example. But to be honest, Nano Banana produces images at an even higher resolution. Let's see how Nano Banana handled this task. Very cool. Nano Banana generates photorealism incredibly well, capturing St. Petersburg's vibe perfectly. There's a sausage sticking out of the shawarma, but that's just a minor detail. Everything else is super realistic, the textures are cool, and the finger counts are always correct. It transferred the character very well. The character is chewing something, there's shawarma, the sign is great, but we can see that when it adds other inscriptions, there are some issues. We see some scribbles, gibberish, but the main inscription is usually, well, not always, but usually, written quite well and without mistakes. Nano Banana is simply my favorite. Let's see how ChatGPT handled this task. And what you're seeing in the background right now is a serious problem that apparently they are actively trying to solve at the moment. I'll come to its defense, despite the madness that's happening in the background here. I don't know if you can see it on your screens. The chewed up, completely ruined quality. This will happen in almost every generation. I think this is some kind of temporary insanity. That's how it seems to me. They can't just leave it like this, because this is the level of a stable diffusion model from 3 or 4 years ago. So most likely this is some kind of mistake. At first I thought maybe it was something with Syntx here, but no, actually this problem is everywhere. I don't know what it's related to. Most likely it's something with their servers, I don't know, but of course they'll probably fix it. As for the quality, it's not bad, if you look here. But it didn't transfer the character exactly, because my character has these black eyes. That was the whole point, right? But it didn't transfer that. Well, okay, fine. Let's try something else. Let's make it more complicated. Let's try to make a YouTube thumbnail with this girl. Here it says, make me a YouTube video thumbnail. On the thumbnail I have a surprised face, mouth open, show surprise and shock, bright colors, attention grabbing. the text on the thumbnail, shock content, you'll be blown away. Basically a standard setup. Let's choose an aspect ratio that's more suitable, horizontal, and send the request. As usual, I'll send the request to ChatGPT and make the same request to Nano Banana too. I'm doing everything here, all in one interface. It's very convenient. I'm specifically using Nano Banana 2, not Banana Pro, but Banana 2. So this is already a more advanced version of Nano Banana. I personally think Nano Banana is even cooler because it allows you to create and work with the likenesses of celebrities. ChatGPT kind of allows it too, but it's very strict when it comes to brands. So for example, if you want to create content featuring Spider-Man or say Shrek, it is highly likely the ChatGPT model will block your generation and won't let you do it, since that is a clearly recognizable commercial brand. Yes, that's a real issue, but Nano Banana does it easily, without any kind of restrictions at all. I really like that it doesn't have these kinds of limitations. That's another advantage of Nano Banana. So, as I already mentioned, the resolution is a key point. Nano Banana generates images in very good 2K resolution and can even do 4K as well. Whereas Sora Image produces images of either medium, low, or high quality. But when I generate at medium quality, honestly, it's something like 1600 pixels on the long side, I think. I don't know. You decide for yourself whether that's a lot or a little. In my opinion, it's just kind of average. Not great, not terrible, just okay. So let's see how ChatGPT handled the task of making us a cover. And ChatGPT's advantage over Nano Banana is that it actually transfers a person's appearance quite well and writes text very well in any language. Russian, Chinese, whatever you want. It writes text perfectly and there are no complaints in that regard. But the quality, why does everything look so wrinkled? I have the feeling that the previous version of this model, Image 1.5, actually generated better results. I don't know. Right now I'll do it in front of your eyes, specifically using model 1.5. I have a feeling that something happened specifically to this version 2 of the model. Maybe it was just when I decided to test it, but it's generating in some terrible quality. I can't figure it out. Here's what the Nano Banana model produced. As you've probably already realized, none of the models are doing a good job at creating YouTube thumbnails so far. And I think I even have an explanation for this phenomenon. The thing is, a YouTube thumbnail is something very subjective. That is, it's something that each person perceives in their own way. So for her, a cool YouTube thumbnail is this, right? But for me, a cool YouTube thumbnail is this one. You see, we can have different tastes, me and the generative model, right? Nevertheless, as of today, not a single model is able to handle the task of creating a YouTube thumbnail in a way that actually looks good. But, in principle, the model from ChatGPT did a decent job. Passable, but with some flaws. The textures are very distorted, extremely poor quality, as if the image had gone through some kind of meat grinder. That's it. Even the Poltora model did better, although it preserved the appearance of the face very, very poorly, but the quality is much better. I think, friends, this is just some kind of temporary glitch. I'm absolutely sure of it, because, well, a model just can't generate things this badly. If that's the case, then of course I'll redo the review of ChatGPT 2. We'll see. Now, let's try to make a cool, stylish photo with a more professional prompt, using this young man here. Let's do the same on Nano Banana 2. Everything is exactly the same. I'm uploading the photo of the guy, let's see what we get. Here's how Nano Banana 2 handled it. It's great, but the appearance isn't always exactly perfect. Specifically, with a regular photo of a person, it doesn't always transfer the face exactly. That's one nuance. The face isn't always a perfect match, but you can achieve similarity by generating several attempts in a row. Eventually, you can capture the person's appearance exactly. And of course, there's no point in even talking about the quality of execution and how cool it is. It looks awesome. Let's see how ChatGPT did with their Image 2 model. Well, here, of course, there are no quality issues, but it looks rather gloomy. And by the way, at this point I wanted to note that the Image 2 model from ChatGPT tends to produce more photorealism rather than something artistic. Banana, of course, handles more artistic tasks better, but ideally, honestly, Midjourney is unmatched when it comes to artistry, my friends. If we're talking about real art, then without a doubt, Midjourney is the one to choose for those purposes. But Midjourney transfers faces very, very poorly, so here you really have to balance things out and decide for yourself what matters more to you. Well, it turns out that ChatGPT managed to do it, but the result is kind of grungy, you could say. Also, by the way, I noticed that it transfers faces with great accuracy. It's really good at transferring faces, but it seems to copy even the pose, even the angle from the photo, as if it's just copying the face straight from the picture. Whether that's good or bad, friends, I honestly don't know. Maybe it's not always appropriate. If I wanted to get a profile photo, how would it handle that? I don't know, maybe we'll test that in the future, but here we can already see that Nano Banana, of course, transferred the face very poorly, but otherwise the photo looks absolutely amazing. Now we're going to try to create an advertising shot or a product card with my product. Well, in this case, I just took this kind of box, supposedly, with my channel's logo on it. Let's upload it here, and I'll write a prompt like this: create a product card design. The box of my product from the photo is beautifully placed on rocks, with a volcano erupting in the background, clouds and flames. Everything should look stylish, like an expensive advertisement. Text on the image, the top video courses on neural networks. The text should be integrated neatly, stylishly, and without mistakes. That's the task for it. Let's try to do it on Nano Banana. Let's try to make a product card in a square aspect ratio, supposedly. And I'm uploading the same thing to ChatGPT. Well, I call it ChatGPT, although in reality, of course, it's actually called GPT Image 2. It's just out of habit that I say ChatGPT. Let's take a look. And this is how Nano Banana 2 handled it. This is super quality. Let's see how cool this is. The bokeh, everything is in its place. The text, of course, would probably look even cooler if it were a bit bolder, but still, it looks pretty good. Basically, it didn't make any mistakes at all, even though the text is in Russian, but sometimes it does make some mistakes. So please double check. Otherwise, the quality of the generation itself is gorgeous. It's just absolutely perfect. Now let's see how GPT Image 2 did. And you can decide for yourself. As for the text itself, I actually like it quite a bit more. It just looks cooler somehow. But the image looks very gloomy. Again, it's kind of chewed up. I don't understand what's wrong with it. Guys, this is definitely some kind of glitch. I'm absolutely sure they have to fix this. Well, it just can't be. Even Sora from a year ago generated better than this. I don't get it. Did this nonsense really have to happen right when I sat down to record the video? In short, I don't know, in my opinion. If you look at the quality from a distance, it's kind of nice, but if you zoom in like this, the textures are just chewed up. You can't even tell what's going on with them. Do you see this difference? Here, everything is detailed. Nano Banana, of course, did a great job with this task. Even the volcano here erupts in an unrealistic way. It's very so questionable. I'm sure it's just something today, maybe it's lagging, I have no idea. Alright, let's give it one more chance. I'm uploading the same image with the same box and entering a more professionally written prompt here because someone might say, well, you just wrote what you wanted in your own words. So that's the result you got. Okay, now I've written a very professional prompt to create a truly professional advertising shot. Let's see. ChatGPT gave us this. Well, actually, to be honest, this isn't bad, especially if you look at it from a distance like this, but this is how Nano Banana handled it. Here, of course, everything looks more realistic. I don't know if it's more artistic because it seems like ChatGPT actually made it more artistic here, but I'm sure that if we try again with Nano Banana, it might turn out even cooler. Well, not bad, it's not bad. Pretty good quality. 2K, look at that, the level of detail is just insane. For the upcoming creative project, I wanted to seamlessly integrate 4 of my different characters. These are specific pieces from my portfolio, and these 4 girls need to be combined into one image. Let me drop in this prompt. Combine these characters into one photo. The idea is this: a crime scene, like from a Hollywood thriller. They're mafia members sitting at a table in a dark, mysterious setting. Let's do some kind of horizontal format so they all fit in the frame. Let's see how Nano Banana handles it. I'm sending the request and we'll send the exact same request to GPT Image 2. Here's how Nano Banana handled it. By the way, it didn't always transfer the appearance well. Somewhere it messed up the eyes. But overall, the composition looks pretty decent. Knowing Nano Banana, it can actually do much better, but nevertheless, in general, it looks quite visually good. Well, in any case, it's definitely better than GPT Image 2, of course. That is, it transfers faces quite effectively. But everything else in the image it is hard to tell what is even going on here. Look, this is definitely some kind of glitch. They couldn't have seriously released a model with such high ambitions for success, with such absolutely terrible and low quality textures as these. That just can't be. Most likely, this is just some kind of temporary insanity. Friends, I have a feeling that I'll probably have to record another review after some time, or something I don't know. Well, I'm recording it as it is, friends. I'm showing you everything just as it is. Let's move on to the next task. Let's take a photo as a base, for example, a picture of this camera, and try to create a shot where this camera is disassembled into parts. A nice, commercial-style shot, you know? The kind you could probably even use for video animation. Here's the final generated result on GPT Image 2. And we can see that overall it's not entirely bad, but honestly it turned out to be somewhat nonsense. Well, let's see how the Banana 2 model handled it. Well, yes, of course, everything here looks much nicer, although the parts are somehow oddly split up, not quite in sync, but overall in terms of execution quality, it's definitely excellent. Even if you look at the tiniest details and textures, Nano Banana 2 is just head and shoulders above the rest. And let's do one last test. I'll ask both neural networks to create a storyboard for this kind of shot. It's just some character generated in Midjourney. By the way, I also have a course on Midjourney, a very extensive and content-rich course where I show how to use Midjourney skillfully and effectively at the level of the world's top creators to achieve really cool and high-quality generations. So here's the shot. Now we'll try to break it down into a storyboard, that is, to create its storyboard. Let's take a look. This is how Nano Banana did it. The quality is absolutely excellent. What's interesting is that, by the way, in my Midjourney course, I also showed how you can generate each of these frames separately in amazing quality. So if you like a specific frame from the storyboard, you can enlarge that image individually, upscale it, and regenerate it with complete full detail. Yeah, Nano Banana is really good. Let's take a look at a ChatGPT, or rather GPT Image 2, and we can see that it looks quite dramatic and the quality is also pretty good. And here, there's less of that muddled look. We can even see here it's good. I don't really have any complaints about this. All the frames look quite high quality and very contrasty. I think that overall, this whole thing with consistency has gone too far. Basically, the race and the battle for frame consistency, as people like to say these days, I think GPT Image has really overdone it with consistency. And because of that, the frames look kind of chewed up or just, well, terrible. It's just awful. I think that maybe they'll fix this soon. Nevertheless, in my opinion, my strictly personal opinion, even if I turn a blind eye to the texture issues and all that mess, overall of course, GPT Image 2 once again failed to live up to expectations. There was talk that this model would completely blow Nano Banana out of the water, but I don't see anything even remotely like that. And I tested GPT Image 2 both on Syntx and in its pure form directly on the ChatGPT platform. And in both cases, the results are exactly the same. I think that either this is some kind of temporary issue and they'll fix everything soon. If that's the case, I'll record another review. We'll see. But as of today, this is how things look, and it's bad. It's really quite bad. Of course, Nano Banana handles almost all tasks much better. The only real advantage of the Image 2 model is that it seems to write texts better, and most of the time, without any mistakes at all. I've already heard this from various other creators, that GPT Image 2 writes texts very well, without any complaints at all. Maybe? Maybe. But in terms of quality, it's definitely shock content. That's all. Thank you for watching, friends. If you enjoy these kinds of breakdowns and stress tests, please hit the like button under this video. I'll also be making similar reviews, breakdowns, and tests for other models as well. That's it. Have a great mood. Let's grow together. I'll see you in the next video. Let's go!